Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning. I believe you all are ready with lab setup. My lab is ready. I've explained yesterday how do we set up it. So lab is really very important from today. We'll start practicing today. And also when you are setting up lab, you must try to set up lab with repositories, YAM repositories, because we need YAM repository also. My lab is ready. Okay. I'll just try to ping to server A, pinging. I'll try to ping to server B. Server B is not pinging. Let me check. Okay, 1 second. NMCLI. A moment. Okay. Okay, my lab is ready. Anything you can ask me, I'll help really. Lab is very, very important. Otherwise, no use of attending class. Okay, let's start. Not well. Prakash can join. Okay. Now, first, make ready the lab like this, install Ansible and set up the lab. You might be remembering I've told you machine name. Okay, workstation. This machine name is workstation. And this machine is server A, server B. IP is 192.168.10.1, 10.2, 10.3. And I've set up a repository here. I already set up repository. You know repository setup and all we have studied already. And also build local resolver host file just for pinging to the machine with its name as okay like this. Okay, server A, server B, workstation. Understand? Now I'll start. In second chapter we have first thing we have to install Ansible. Installing Ansible is the first concept. Okay, second we will learn setup lab. Setup lab. That is second. Third, we have to create Ansible inventory file. Inventory file. We have to create Ansible inventory file. Next, we have to create Ansible configuration file. Configuration file. Okay, finally, we will learn Ansible ad hoc command. Okay, by today and tomorrow we will finish this chapter. We need minimum 2 hours. These are the things we have in second chapter. First, installing Ansible done yesterday. Setting up lab also done yesterday. Today, first we are going to check Ansible inventory file creation. Understanding. Also, just try to draw our, lab block diagram here. We have a machine. Okay, machine name is workstation. Workstation. IP address is 192.168.10.1. This is our control node. Control node means where you have installed Ansible application control node. And this control node is connected to the virtual switch, network switch. This is virtual network, switch, connected to network switch. Spelling mistake forward. And we have two managed hosts. And all are connected to the network. This I'm just drawing just to understand. This is very important. Okay, name of this machine is server A. IP address 192.168.10.2. Name of this machine is server B. IP address is 192.168.10.3. I'm sorry, I need a minute. I'm really not well. Please wait for a moment. Okay, thanks. Server A, and these are managed host. Okay, these are our managed. Here, right? Picture is very clear. Server A, server B, IP address, and okay, everything clear. So we are going to learn inventory file creation. I've told you inventory file is very important. What is inventory file? Inventory file is a pure text file which contains names of the managed host. Example, file name can be anything. I'll just give it as host.txt. In this, I'll mention names of machine, managed host, server A, server B. Either you can mention host name, IP address, or FQDN. Anything is fine. Okay, either you can mention host name, IP address, or IP address, host name, or machine name. Anything is fine. Understand? Okay. So we will use machine name because we have configured. We have configured host file. We have filled host file well, so we can use machine name. So if in big environment where you have DNS server, you will have FQDN. You can use FQDN. Understand? Okay, you can use FQDN. But in our case, we will use machine name, host name. So what is the exact use of this? I'll tell you. What is the exact use of inventory file? Okay, I've told you yesterday, inventory file is almost like attendance register of a classroom. Attendance register of a classroom. Look here. This is a simple block diagram to understand the function of Ansible. Okay, I have severe throat pain. Please, I'll just put it. Ansible engine. There is Ansible engine. So Ansible engine will be running on Ansible control node. Clear, right? Ansible engine will be running. Ansible engine is available on control node. Okay, we don't install any Ansible agent on this machine. Managed host. Clear. Ansible engine is available on control node. And Ansible has two facilities, like you can write script. Also, Ansible has some type of command called addo command. Okay, what is Ansible? When we write a script, if you want to automate repeated task, I just want to automate repeated task in the sense like I'm doing a particular task thrice a day and daily I'm doing. It can be once in a day or daily, anything. Understanding? Okay, once in a day, thrice in a day, so whatever, but you are doing daily, repeated means daily repeating it. So if you want to automate such task, it's better you can write the script. Understanding? You can write the script and schedule the script to run automatically, finish. But you just imagine, I just want to automate task. I want to run a particular task on multiple computers only for one time. Once means only one time, not repeated. Clear? Example, I just want to install an application on 100 machine. Then what? Okay, this installing application is not repeated task, isn't it? Is it repeated task installing? Will you install same application daily? No. So it's not a repeated task. In this case, what you can do is you can use addo command, ad hoc, ADHOC, ad hoc command. So Ansible ad hoc commands are used to run a task on multiple machine only for once. Ansible playbook means script used to automate repeated tasking. Okay, in machine. Understand? So if you want to automate repeated tasks, go for Ansible play or playbook. Play or playbook means script. And if you want to automate a task only for once, best go for addo command. Then you can go for addo command. So that is what. Okay, Ansible addo command. Okay, Ansible, script and addo command. Clear, right? So when you are, okay, suppose you have a playbook or you have a script. When you are running script, the script will directly come and hit to engine. Script will directly come and hit to the engine. Okay, so what engine will do is it will search for the configuration file. Engine will search for the configuration file. So listen, every application will have a configuration file. you have installed an application in your machine. An application should work based on your settings, your configuration. So we have installed Ansible, and Ansible will not be running as its wish. Ansible will always run based on user settings, user configuration. So you must have a configuration file in which you should define or you should decide how Ansible should work. Okay, so there is a configuration file. So this configuration file will contain path to the inventory file. So I've told you inventory is just a text file which contains names of the managed host which is available in your infrastructure. Imagine you have 100 machine totally, but only 50 machine names are available in inventory. Okay, means other 50 machine, you cannot automate task on other 50 machine, because if you want to automate task on any machine, that machine should be available in inventory list. If you want to allow a student, to sit in class, that student name should be available in register, attendance register, same thing. So inventory list is like really like, same as classroom attendance register, which would contain names of the managed host. It's a pure text file. You can keep anywhere in your Ansible control node, but you must mention the path of this inventory file in configuration file. So example, you're going to run a script, Ansible script. Script will come and hit to the engine. Engine will come and read the configuration file. Configuration file contains so many settings, but there is one settings which contain path to the path to the inventory file. So engine will come to the inventory and will check whether names of managed host on which you are going to run this script is available in this inventory file or not. If it is available, things will happen. Else it will throw an error. Sorry, so and so machine or so and so machine's names are not available in inventory, so you cannot run. You will get an error message. That's all. I think it's a bit clear. Let me just explain here. I'm going to create inventory file. So what I'll do is I'll just create a special location to keep the inventory file. Okay, I'll just create a directory here, mkdir, and I'll create a directory in / direct name is ANSI 8am. Okay, I'll just locate that / ANSI 8am pwd. We are in ANSI, sorry, we are in okay, pwd, we are in ANSI 8am, and this would be the working directory until we finish our course. This would be our working directory until we finish our course. Okay. So what I'll do is I'm going to create inventory file here. I've told you name of the file can be anything. I'll just say like host. No need to give .txt because default is .txt in Linux, right? Enter. And what I'll do is, I've told you inventory file would contain names of every machines. Machine means every machines means what? Every managed host. So here I'll just say like server A, server B. Okay, we have only two managed hosts, server A, server B. I'm adding simply server C, simply adding server D. Okay, like this. Either you can add machine names, IP, or FQDN. Anything is fine. Okay, so just imagine you didn't configure host file, then you can use IP address of server A, server B, server C, server D. We don't have server C and D. We are adding simply just for understanding. Okay, or you can add machine names like this host name, or you can use FQDN also, like server A dot example.com, server B dot example.com, server C dot example.com. Understand? And next, then people ask, Ashraf, I have thousands of computers, thousands of managed hosts. Should I mention all managed host names here? Okay, suppose you just imagine you have 24 managed hosts, 24 managed hosts. Okay, or 26 managed hosts, server A to server Z. So instead of mentioning all names here, what you can do is you can give server star. What's the meaning? First 6 letters should be server. Next letters can be anything, matches anything. That's the meaning of server, a star, right? But anyway, I'll give server A, server B, server C, server D. You should clear all doubt, okay, if you have, please. Next, what I'll do is, I've mentioned 4 computers names here. We don't have 4 computers in our infrastructure. I've just mentioned that's all. Okay, what I'll do is, I'm just going to create a group of, group of host. So there are 4 host names we have mentioned. I'm going to create group of host. So what is the use of group of, creating group, group of host? You please try to understand when you are writing a script, example, you are writing a script. You are writing a script. This is a script. In this script, you should mention you should mention name of the managed host on which you would like to run the script. Example, if you want to run on server A, you have to say server A. I want to run on server A, server B, that's server A, server B. I want to run server A, server B, server C. And example, I want to run on every computers. Imagine I have 100 computers and I just want to run this particular script on. If you one computer name can be one managed host name can be given. 2 also okay. But typing 100 machine names are really hectic. So what you can do is you can create a group of host. Okay, you can create group of hosts based on your project name or department or site, anything. Understanding? So example, I have created a group. I have 100 machine. I just want to run the script on 100 machine, and I have created a group. Group name is what? Sales. And if I just mention the group name, enough. Group name is enough. No need to mention all 100 computers name individually. Understanding? So I'm going to create a group. So what I'll do is, open square bracket, name of the group, sales. And I'll say what are the machines we have in sales group. Example, server A and server B are in sales group. I'm going to create another group. Group name is finance. Finance. In this, I have 2 computers, server C, server T. 2 computers in this. And I'm going to create a nested group. Say, for example, I have 2 groups, sales, which contain 100 computers, finance also contain 100 computers. Okay, I just want to run a particular script on sales and finance. Okay, then what you have to do, you have to mention sales, finance, right? Instead, what you can do is you can create a nested group. How do we create nested group? You have to just mention group of the name of the nested group, colon, and just mention children, and just mention names of the subgroup, sales, finance. Okay, what I'm saying is, if you want to execute a script on one machine, you can mention one machine name. If I want to execute on server A, server B, I can just mention sales. If I want to execute on server B, server D, server C, server D, I can just give finance. Like this depends on requirements we can give. And if you want to run script on sales department, finance department machine, instead of mentioning both groups name individually, you can just give BLR. Understanding? One moment. Okay, so this is what now we have created a simple inventory file, and this is static inventory file. I'll teach all about dynamic later. Okay, this we are creating manually, so that's the reason we say static. So this is static. Server A, server B, server C, server D. We don't have server C and D. Simply added just for understanding sake. and we have created group. Okay, this is called host group. Sales is one host group. We have mentioned names of 2 computers in it. Okay, we have less number of computers, managed host, and finance. We have mentioned 2 computers name, 2 managed host names, and we have created a nested group. Name of the nested group is BLR. Children is an option used to mention the name of the. I mean, to say like it is, nested group children. And group names are mentioned here, sales and finance. I'll save this. If you have any doubt, please clear. I'll save this. Now we have just created a inventory list. Inventory, static inventory file is created. File name can be anything. Okay, extension should be txt, but if you're not giving anything, its default is txt. And in that we have mentioned all names of every individual machine, and we have created 2 groups, and we have created 1 nested group also. I think things are very clear. Okay, if any doubt you can ask. If no doubt, I'll show you how do we create configuration file. Please, if anything, please ask. If you say I didn't understand, I can repeat. Really, I'll repeat. No.
I said no doubt.
Okay. You have to make ready this lab today, please. Okay, otherwise. Okay, now I'm going to create configuration file. What is Ansible? It's an application. What application? Automation application, automation scripting application. So every application will run in an operating system depends or based on its settings, means configuration file. Every apps are running based on configuration file, right? So we have learned NFS, Apache, so many things. All are working based on configuration file. So Ansible also really will run based on its configuration file. Ansible has a configuration file. There is a default configuration and inventory file available. I didn't show you. I'll show you. Please wait. We are creating custom configuration and inventory. So inventory file is ready now. I'm just going to create a custom configuration file. So when you're creating configuration file, you must be, you must be aware of many things. Number 1, name of the configuration file should be Ansible only. It should be small letters, Ansible. The extension is CFG. CFG extension should be CFG. And what are settings? What settings we have to add in this? Look here. Example, script is ready. Script is ready. And when you're going to run this script, when you're going to run this script, what will happen? It will, control node will establish SSH session to managed host, right? Managed host. So when you're taking SSH session from one machine to another machine, you must provide credentials, username and password of the destination. So here also username and password of the managed hosts are really needed. So we will mention username and password of the managed host in configuration file. Also we will mention path of the inventory file. These are the 3 important settings we are going to add now, and based on our requirement we will be keep adding some extra things later. First I'm going to create a simple configuration file now, which would contain only 3 settings. Okay, and gradually we will add more. So I'm going to add default settings, so I should mention defaults. I'll just mention defaults. Just going to add default settings. First one, I'll say inventory is equal to, means inventory file path, where we kept inventory file in slash and C8M, right? Slash, what's the file name? Host. Clear. This is a path of the static inventory file which we have created now. Next you have to say remote user, means this is actually user credentials to establish SSH session to managed host. I'll say root. Okay, next is ask underscore pass. Ask password is equal to true. I'm giving true now. I'll show you. Okay, multiple examples. Please wait. Okay, so we are creating a simple configuration file. In configuration file, we are adding only 3 settings now. Okay, default settings. First is path of the inventory file. That is mandatory. Second, okay, remote user. Because when you are trying to execute, ADO command or Ansible script, what will happen is control node will establish SSS session. Okay, from control node to managed host. So it need credentials of managed host. I'm just setting common credentials of managed host as a root user. So it will be getting connected as root user and it will prompt for the password. Okay, you will prompt for the password. I'll just save this. This is really a simple, simple configuration file. So this is very simple configuration file. Now I'll save this. Suffering from severe allergy. A moment. Okay, file is ready. Files are ready. Look here. There is configuration file and inventory file. Next thing, okay, well, very important. We are going to test it. Okay, we are going to test this configuration and inventory file. It should listen very well and also should clear all doubts if any. Please, very very important. Okay, listen. What I'll do is, I we already installed Ansible yesterday. If you want to check whether Ansible is available in machine, there are two ways. You can just give like RPM -Q Ansible. We have tested yesterday Ansible. It says Ansible is sorry. Ansible. Ansible is installed. There is another way. You can just say like Ansible -version showing yes Ansible is installed. Okay, Ansible is installed and it's showing configuration file path. See, it says configuration file is here. Understand so many other details, version. I'll teach you what is Ansible core editions and all. I'll teach later. Okay, now try to understand Ansible is installed already, or else you are supposed it says core edition 2 point. Okay, and the real edition is 5 point. Understanding? I mean, like yesterday we have checked rate 5 point. What it is? Sorry, 6.6.3. I'll tell you what is core edition. Please wait. So next, what I'll do is I just want to tell you very important thing about Ansible configuration file. Okay, now there is configuration file available here. Understand? I'm just going to execute some. I just want to execute one command. I just want to execute one command. Okay, ADO command I'll execute. I'm not teaching ADO command now. I'm just executing one command. I'll just say like Ansible. I'll teach later. Okay, I'll just give now server -n. I'm trying to create a user account. I'm not teaching this. I'm just showing an example. Okay, -m user and -a. I'll say name of the user is example. Okay, Sally. I'll enter. Then it's asking for password. Okay, asking SSH password. I'll just give server A at 123 is the password. Okay, I'm getting some error message. Okay, so this error message is something different. Okay, but I just want to tell you Okay, I'll just come out from this directory. Earlier I was in ANSI 8am and I'll fire same command from here. Then you are getting error in another color. So this error says provided host list is empty. Okay, provided host list is empty. Host list means inventory file is empty. Only local host is available. Note that implicit local host does not match all. Okay, could not match supplied host pattern. It says there is no host name server A available. Reason, you must understand very important concept. You must understand very important concept. We are trying to execute. We are trying to execute Ansible. This is actually Ansible addo command. This is Ansible addo command. Okay, so you are executing from which path? pwd slash. Is there any configuration file available here? Ansible configuration file? No. Ansible configuration file or files are not available here. Ansible configuration file or files are not available here. Ansible configuration file or files are not available here. Clear? So that's
Can you tell what is the meaning of ad hoc command?
I see. I've told you I'm not teaching ad hoc command. I'm showing one. I just want to explain you. The precedence or priority of Ansible configuration file. Okay, I didn't tell anything about ad hoc command. Okay, forget. You try to understand. I'm just trying to execute one command on server A. That's all. Understand? Because I cannot explain this now because we didn't reach an ad hoc command. We didn't reach an ad hoc command. Now we are in Ansible inventory and configuration. But this is how we explain this. This is how you can understand. What I'm trying is we are okay. We are ready. We have already created inventory file and configuration file. Okay, we have already created Ansible inventory file and configuration file. And now I'm just trying to execute one command. Ansible, this is called ad hoc command. Okay, ad hoc command. I've told you ad hoc commands are used to run a particular task on multiple computers only for once. What? Ad hoc commands are used to execute a particular task on multiple computers only for one time, not repeatedly. Imagine, like you just want to execute a particular task. You just want to execute a particular task repeatedly. Repeatedly, you want to execute a particular task repeatedly. Since repeatedly means for today, maybe twice or thrice, tomorrow also twice or thrice. Like daily, you want to execute it. In that case, it's better you can write the script. It's better you write the script. If you're going to use ad hoc command daily, you have to execute manually. Understand? You have to type the command and execute it manually. Understanding? So that is really hectic. So
Here you're creating user Sally on multiple
multiple computers, multiple machine. I've just mentioned server A only, but you can give sales, finance, PLR. See, I didn't explain it much because we didn't reach that. But you have asked a question. That's the reason I thought of to tell something. We didn't reach an ad hoc command. That is our next discussion. I'll explain what is ad hoc command. But you try to understand ad hoc commands are Ansible commands which used to execute a particular task on multiple computers only for once. Okay, only for once means what? It's not repeated. Okay, then you should not mean like, okay, we can execute only once. If I want to execute tomorrow, not possible. It's not like that. What I'm saying is not repeatedly. But just imagine about backing up. You're taking backup of a particular server thrice a day. So thrice a day and daily. So this is repeated task. If you are using, you can use what even ad hoc command for this purpose also. But you just imagine if you are using ad hoc command, you have to approach the machine thrice a day, okay, daily, and execute that command manually. So that is really hectic. Instead, what you can do, you can write the script and run it to schedule to run it automatically. I'll teach. It's coming, but this is a bit difficult part. That's what I said. You must listen well, then only you can understand. So I am just trying to make you understand precedence or priority of Ansible, configuration file, Ansible configuration file. Now we are in slash. Okay, is there any configuration file available here? No, there is no configuration file available here. We have configuration file in this directory, right? We have configuration file in this directory. So, here, I think it's better. Let me just okay, leave it. I'll use another shortcut for this. Then you may understand it a little fast. I'll just go to CD. Look here. I'm just trying to fire one command. Okay, one command. Instead of this, what I'll do is I'll use command which used to list the machine names. I'll just say like server A. Okay, server A, and I'll just say like hyphen list hyphen pause. So this command is just used to check whether this particular name is server A available in inventory file or not. Okay, then it's asking password. Reason we have set as pass. Okay, true, right? We have mentioned as pass true. So here I'll give password of server A, password of server A at 123. Showing it says yes. Name of the server A is available in inventory file. Same way, I'm just going to check server B, asking pass. I'll say server B at 123. Same way, I just want to list what are the computers available in sales group. We have a host group sales, right? Sales. Then also asking password. So this is confusing because in sales we have two machines, right? Server A, server B. Which machine password we must provide? Any machine password is enough because this is just listing only. Understand? Listing the contents. It says there are two machines available in finance. Sales. I'll just say like I just want to view the cost of finance. Then also asking password. Then you may ask Ashraf, which password we must give here? Because in finance we have server C and server D. Server C and server D. Server C and server D we don't have, right? We have just added this for understanding sake. So any password, you give any password because this is just listing, is not a problem. Showing server C and server D. Now I'm trying here Bangalore. Bangalore is actually, what is Bangalore? Bangalore is, nested group. So I'll just try to, okay, again asking password. I'll give password of any machine because this is listing. So okay. So there is another group. So here you try to understand Bangalore, finance, sales. These are the group which we have mentioned, we have created, right? I'll just say like all here, all. Asking pass. So all is actually default group. All is default group. Showing all. And there is one more default group, ungrouped. Okay, ungrouped. So you try to understand. Okay, this command is just used to list the content. Okay, content of the host names of the inventory file. That's all. We are not doing any other activity. So asking password. I'll just give password of any machine. Okay, so it says sorry, this is empty. So what I'll do is I'll just edit cost. Okay, my inventory file. I'm just going to add one more machine here. Server E. Server is added. And you try to understand server E is not member of any of this group, right? Server is not member of this, not member of this, even the member of this, not member of this. So just to say again, ungrouped. Ungrouped means a machine which is not part of any of the group. So it says server E is okay. So we have used some commands. Okay, just now we have used some commands just to list the contents of, just to view the contents of the inventory file, just to know whether a particular machine, a particular group is available in your inventory list. That's all, nothing else. Okay, now like you just imagine. Look here, very important. I've told you when you are when you're trying to run addo command or Ansible script on managed host, control node will establish SSS session, right? While establishing SSS session, these machines will request to control node to provide the username and password. So you just imagine it is very difficult, entering username and password always. Understanding? So sometime you will write a script and you will run the script multiple times for testing sake. So if it is asking username and password in every time, that is really type of disturbance. So it's better you can configure passwordless SSH between these. You can configure passwordless SSH between control node and managed host. So you know that well because we have already learned passwordless SSH in SSH course, SSH chapter. So I'm just going to configure passwordless SSH between this. Okay, earlier every time it was asking password, right? Now I'm just going to configure passwordless SSH between control node and managed host. Okay, since we learned it well, I will not explain. I'll just do it. You just watch. I'll just say SSH hyphen keygen hyphen T RSA. We have studied this. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll copy SSH hyphen copy ID, right? Copy ID root at server A will prompt for user. I mean root server A password. Server A at 123 is the password. Same way I'll copy to server B also. Okay, yes. Okay, it's asking server B's password. Server B at 123. Copy. Now you try to give previous commands. See. Oh, one second. Okay, after configuring passwordless SSH, you have to open Ansible configuration file. And you have to make little changes here. What? Should not ask password, just to give false, because we have already configured passwordless SSH between control node and managed host. Okay, control node and managed host. So you can configure. Okay, don't ask password, means ask pass false. Now you try to execute these commands. It's not asking password, right? Look here, it's not asking password. Last time it asked password, now it's not asking password. Okay, and just try say it's not asking password because we have configured passwordless SSH. So henceforth it will not ask password because we have configured passwordless SSH. This is the best practice. Okay, because when you are writing a script, sometimes you will have to run the script. You will have to run the script multiple times for testing. Understanding? If it is asking password, username and password every now and then, that is really type of disturbance. To avoid it, you can configure passwordless SSH. Okay, now I'll just give finance showing, and you check. Okay, Bangalore, check Bangalore, PLR. Understand? Okay, one moment. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll just come out from my present working directory. Present working directory is this where we have our configuration file and inventory file. I'll come out from this. Now I am in, okay, check the PWD and I just fire the command from here. My previous command. And we are getting error. Okay, we are getting error. It says your host list is empty. You please try to understand. I'm going to explain very important, that is called precedence or priority of the configuration file. Listen well. So when you are running Ansible addo command, or when you are executing Ansible script, Ansible script, priority of the configuration file is very important. Okay, so Ansible will first search for the configuration file in present working directory. There is no configuration file available in present working directory. Is there any configuration file available here? No. Understanding. If there is no configuration file available in present working directory, Ansible will search for the configuration file in home directory of the presently logged user. Who logged presently? Root user. Root user home directory is what? ls/root. Is there any Ansible directory here? No. But you just give ls-a/root. There is one Ansible directory here. .ansible hidden. So if there is no Ansible configuration file available in present working directory, Ansible engine will search for the configuration file in home directory of the presently logged user. There is a .ansible directory available in the home directory of presently logged user. You will search for the configuration file in it. So check, is there any configuration file? No configuration file available here. So you please try to understand there is no configuration file available in present working directory and .ansible directory available in the home directory of the presently logged user also. Clear? Then it will search for the configuration file in /etc ls/etc. In etc you have Ansible directory. There is Ansible directory available in etc. See, Ansible directory is available. So this directory was created while after installing, while installing Ansible. So I'll just search for Ansible. Okay, Ansible. So this contains configuration file and one inventory file. These are default inventory and configuration file. Default inventory and configuration file. This configuration file, this inventory file is configuration file is empty. Inventory file contains some entries just for reference. Okay, let me just open it. I'll just say like win/etc/ansible/host. So there are some example entries they have given. So this is the default one. They have given some example entries. I'll come out from this. Okay, next what I'll do is I'll just try to open default configuration file. So it's empty really. So instead of using this default configuration and inventory file, what we did, we have created custom configuration, custom inventory file. Clear? Okay, so I'm repeating, one moment. Sorry, not well. Okay, so there is configuration file available in default configuration file available in /etc/ansible, but we didn't use it. Instead, we have created our own configuration file, custom configuration and inventory file. Understanding? We're in /ansi8am directory. So you please try to understand how the priority works. Listen well again. When you are executing Ansible addo command or when you are running Ansible script, Ansible engine will first search for the configuration file in present working directory. If there is configuration file available in present working directory, Ansible will work based on the settings available in it. If there is no configuration file available in present working directory, Ansible engine will search for the configuration file in Ansible engine will search for the configuration file in the home directory of presently logged user. There is .ansible directory available in the home directory of presently logged user. If there is no configuration file available in .ansible directory of the presently logged user, it will search for the configuration file in etc ansible. So there is etc there is configuration and the configuration and inventory file available in /etc ansible, but that is default. There is no settings available. That is also called global configuration file. Global configuration file. So what's the best practice? Best practice is working with custom configuration file. So that's the reason we have created custom configuration files here. Configuration file and inventory file here. I believe you have understood. If no, you can ask now. That's only I'll teach today. Tomorrow we will start addo command. Tomorrow complete day we will we will play with addo command. I'm really facing throat pain, not able to speak well. So started session from morning 7 o'clock. I thought not to cancel the session and keep sneezing also. Sorry. So there are some problem with explaining it. So that is what configuration file and host file precedence. If anything, you ask me. If you didn't, if you didn't understand, no worries. I'll try to explain tomorrow. But you let me know whether you have understood or not. That is important. So priority or precedence of configuration file is very important. So that's the reason when I try to execute from execute a command from this there is no configuration file available here. I'm just trying to execute Ansible addo command from here, one addo command. So this addo command is just to list the contents of Bangalore. I know there is one nested group by name Bangalore. So I'm just trying to list the host of that particular nested group. So it's not listing. Reason, there is no configuration file available in present working directory, because it will give first precedence for the first priority for the configuration file available in present working directory. If no configuration file available here, it will try to locate the configuration file available in .ansible directory of the presently logged user. There is no configuration file available even in that. Then it will search for what global configuration file. So finally, all things failed. That's the reason we are getting this purple color error. So we always work from this only. So every automation engineer will create custom configuration and inventory file according to their requirement. That's the best practice. Now, please ask question if any. Please. If anything want to repeat, I can repeat. It's not a problem. Manohar, Purva.
It's a little bit complicated. I'll just rewatch the video and get back to you tomorrow.
Sure. So please make ready the lab, because from tomorrow we will start to practice addo command. Please make ready the lab. Otherwise we will lose the grip, understand, connection. That's all for today. We'll meet again tomorrow.